Hi guys! How's everyone doing? Okay, so again, I'm just going to give a few moments for people to start making their way in, and then we'll officially get started. I hope all of you have been doing well. It's such a gorgeous day outside. I hope everyone has been able to get some vitamin D, gone outside, gotten a little fresh air. Hi Christina, hi Carrie. Make sure when you guys are coming in to say hello below so I know you're here. Hi Maggie, good to see you again this week. Okay, so I again have something super special planned for this week's Kids Edition. I'm really excited to show you guys what I have prepared for today. And as you guys are joining in on the live, please make sure to give me a wave, say hello, send me some sparkles. I always love sparkles. Hi Alyssa, hi Jess. So good to see you all again this week. Okay, fantastic. So I'm gonna get started, and then as people join, we'll catch them up as we're going. So, welcome to this week's Heckscher at Home, the Kids Edition. My name is Lisa, your host for this week and every other week. Can you believe this is episode 10, week 10 that we've been doing this? It's crazy, but I've been having such a good time every week that I'm on here, and thank you to all of you for coming in and joining me. So whether you're new or you've been here before, welcome, welcome. My name is Lisa, and I'm excited to get started for today. So if you're new here or not, just for a little review, every week on Kids Edition, what I like to do is show you guys a work of art that the museum has either in its permanent collection or something that's currently digitally on view. We'll learn about it together, and then using that as our inspiration, I'll show you guys how to do this week's project. Are you ready to get started? Hi, okay, I see more people are coming on in. Wonderful. Okay, so as always, I have my trusty iPad with me to show you guys this week's wonderful work of art. Are you guys ready? I'm super excited. Okay. This week's artwork is, give me a quick little drum roll. Ta-da! Okay, so this is the work of art that we'll be looking at today. And as always, what I would like you guys to do is just take a look, make your own observations, take in as many details as possible, and look at it top to bottom, bottom to top. And while we're looking, make sure to comment down below what you guys notice. What strikes you first when you're looking at this work of art? What do you guys see? Tell me about it. Hi, Joy. Thanks for coming. Okay, for people who are just coming in, we're looking at this work of art from the museum's permanent collection. And I'm asking everybody to tell me what their first impressions are or what they notice first. Okay, so Maggie said that it reminds her of a beach. That is fantastic. So Maggie, let me ask you a little further. What part of the beach does this remind you of? The sun, the water, the sand. What part does it remind you of the beach? Okay, amazing. Alyssa also said it gives her desert vibes. I could totally see that. And hello, Samantha. Thank you so much for joining us. I agree. This is an awesome gem from the museum's collection. So far we've gotten really wonderful answers about what this reminds people of. And somebody said desert, and Maggie said that it reminds her of the beach. Fantastic. Okay, awesome. And Carrie said sand. I love that. So everything that you guys mentioned is totally true. I definitely get the beach vibe myself. And so when we're looking at this, the title of this is actually Earth Skin by an artist whose name is Lillian Dodson. So with those colors that are associated with the beach or the desert, we see those oranges, yellows, and as well as purples and blues. So the really cool thing that Lillian has done here is she's created a lot of contrast, but using complementary colors. So when I say complementary colors, that means those are opposite each other on the color wheel. And to give us a better visual, I actually am bringing back something old that we've made on another episode of Kids Edition. Okay, very good. Maggie says that the waves are coming up to the sand while the sun is setting. What a beautiful image you created. Very good. Okay, so I have brought back my color wheel that we actually made on an earlier episode of Kids Edition. So as you guys can see here, I have all the different colors of the rainbow. We have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. So the colors that we were talking about in Lillian Dodson's piece is I said that we have the oranges, the yellows, the blues, and purples. And we said that they're considered complementary colors because they're opposite each other. So you can see that that's reflected right here in our color wheel. So if we have the blue here, the orange is on the opposite side. And then for here with the purple, on the opposite end, we have the yellow. So they work really well together because they create this deep contrast that make each of the colors stand out that much more. Okay, so I'm going to bring back Lillian's piece right here just to talk a little bit more about it. Okay, so I really enjoyed all of the things you guys mentioned that this reminds you of. So this is actually a painting that Lillian has done. And not only do we have those complementary colors, but she also uses warm colors to really make this stand out. Now, in the beginning, I told you guys that the title of this is Earth Skin. So when you're thinking of that title, Earth Skin, what could that remind you of? Hi, Allison. Thank you so much for joining us. So we're talking about this piece called Earth Skin by Lillian Dodson. And I want you guys to think about the warm colors that Lillian has used here and why would she have titled it Earth Skin? What does that phrase even mean and how does it relate to the painting that we're looking at here? Now, I don't know about you guys, but when I think of skin, obviously I think of the skin that covers our bodies. And then if I'm thinking about the earth, I'm thinking, well, what covers the earth all over other than water, let's say? And for me, that definitely reminds me of like soil or dirt, rocks. And it's nice that Maggie and Alyssa actually said that this reminds them of the beach and the desert, because when we're looking at those really pale yellows, like up here and over here, it really does remind me of sand. So I think those were really great things to observe, and it was definitely part of what Lillian was trying to get across to us. Okay, awesome. And I see people are agreeing with me as well. So I've spoken about the word abstract a lot here on Kids Edition, but just to give you guys a quick little recap, abstract art is when you're looking at something that has lots of colors, shapes, and lines, but when you put it all together, it doesn't really look like anything real. And when you guys are saying, oh, it looks like the beach or it looks like the desert, we're really using our imaginations to come up with those connections with the artwork and those ideas in our head, which is really fantastic. Okay, very nice. And William said reminds him of the sun on the sand. Fabulous. We definitely have like that sense of reflection happening as well. So Lillian was really inspired by the planet Earth, as well as its multiple layers that make up its crust, or we can think of it as its skin, like she named the title of her work. So as you can see here, she really layered her paint and her dyes and really made them overlap to really give it that the feeling of the surface of the earth and mimicked it. Okay, so on that note, I thought that now we could get inspired by that idea of Lillian overlapping or layering her paint to create different layers that look like the Earth's crust. I thought that was so fun, and it also reminded me that science and art aren't that much different from each other, and we actually can make some comparisons or similarities and drive both points home. Okay. Hi, Tony. How are you? Oh, wow. Very cool. You met the artist. That is fantastic. Look at that. You never know what connections we're going to have here. So without further ado, I'm actually going to show you guys the project that I have prepared based on Lillian's work. So now remember, my whole idea was I wanted to hone in on that idea of layers. So I'm going to show you guys what I did. I'm very excited. You might have already seen it because I did post it on Facebook. And ta-da! Okay, so this is my project. And again, I'm going to bring it up so we can compare it side by side with Lillian's. So this was mine. And then this was Lillian's. And then together, oh, the lighting's not too great. Okay, so Lillian's and then me. So looking at these two, what would you guys say is the biggest difference between my project and what Lillian's artwork looks like? What would you guys say is the biggest difference that you notice? Remember, not similarities, but differences. And I'll show you guys again. This one and this one. What do you guys think? What are the two or what is the biggest difference? Okay, fantastic. So Carrie said color. So whereas the original one we were looking at, we were talking about warm colors, which we would consider red, orange, or yellow, and we had a ton of those oranges and yellows. But what I wanted to do is I actually wanted to use the opposite colors. And when I was thinking about blues and purples, it really reminded me of a starry night sky. So even though this is what I created for my project, I want you guys to think about what kind of landscape can you make using a layered method like Lillian Dodson did. Now think about it this way. Let's say you really love animals. Maybe you'll make a jungle and include lots of greens, maybe use like browns to illustrate like, monkeys in the jungle or something like that. Or if you really love the beach, maybe you'll include blues for the water, some tan colors for the sand. Maybe you'll include little extra details like fish and stuff. Because if you guys notice in mine, everything that I did on my project is actually torn paper. So I did everything by hand. But the only thing I didn't do with just my bare hands was this crescent moon right here. So while I do want you guys to focus on tearing your paper to put this together, you can also do little details like I did and use scissors to make it come together as a whole. So remember, you can do something like the beach, the jungle, the desert like somebody mentioned before, or maybe something completely different. Maybe you want to be at the park and include tons of pinks and purples and reds for flowers maybe, include greens for trees and grass. And remember, I kept mine going side to side like Lillian, so we call this horizontal. But you don't have to stick to that direction. You can make it vertical, so meaning your lines are going up and down, or it could go diagonal, or maybe it'll be a mix of lines. So sometimes you can create like this hatching effect, and by hatching is when a line goes side to side horizontal, and then it also goes vertical up and down, or just a mix of all of those things together. It is totally up to you and whatever your preference is. Okay, just catching up on the comments here. Yep, like day and night. Very good. Thank you. I think I have some cool colors as well. And hi, Peggy. Thank you so much. I like my color choices too. So how I got started with this, everyone, is as always, you have to start with a clean white sheet of paper. So I had this, and then the fun part was getting to tear all my paper up. And the reason why I say this is so much fun is because it doesn't have to be exact. You're just experimenting and playing around and seeing what works for your idea. So I had a bunch of different pieces of paper. I used black, I used purple and blue for my main background colors, and then I added in that yellow for the moonlight and the stars and then the actual moon itself. So I already have actually a pile of torn paper that you can see here, and these are actually my scraps that I had left over from when I was creating my own project. So you're probably going to end up with more paper, but you can always use it for another project if you have these. I have like a scrap bin full of stuff. And so what you're going to do, I mean, tearing paper is pretty self-explanatory, but to show you guys, I want you to have a range or a variety of different sizes of paper. So let's say I could start out with a big piece like this, but let's say I'm not happy with that, and then I can make it shorter or skinnier. I can play around with these different pieces, and you guys can see here that all of mine are very different shapes and sizes. So you can see I have a really long skinny one at the top, I have bigger ones mixed in, I have really, really skinny tiny ones that are short, they don't come all the way across the page, and having those different mixes of sizes makes it easier to add in different details to create or to finish creating your design. So I really urge you guys to make all different sizes. And then the next key and important part is you need to arrange your pieces of paper on your white sheet before you end up gluing it down. Okay, now this is really important because let's say you take your glue stick and you start gluing stuff down, and then you're like, oh my god, that's not what I wanted to do. I actually don't want it to be on the bottom, I want it to be on the top. So you don't want to run into that issue and then have to start all over again after putting in all of that amazing work. So I really want you guys to arrange all of your different torn pieces of paper on here first, dry, and then go in with your glue stick or your liquid glue, or even you can use tape if you wanted. As long as it gets your paper to stick to your other piece of paper, it'll get the job done. So I want you guys to really focus on tearing and arranging your paper, and then once you're sure that's what you want your final project to look like, then you can go ahead and start gluing it down. Okay, remember, arranging is super, super important. And a huge tip or piece of advice that I can give you guys is when you're gluing, please don't actually put your glue straight on your big white piece of paper. Do it one by one on your little pieces of paper and then put it on. It'll be much cleaner, less messy, and more manageable, to be honest. So that is my big piece of advice that I can give you for this project. Okay, I think that just about covers everything. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I hope to see your finished works of art that you guys create. Remember, you do not have to copy me where I did a night sky or even what Lillian Dodson did in her piece Earthskin. Please make it original to what you love or where your interests lie. It could be a park, it could be a beach, it could be a desert, it could be your favorite place you love to travel to, some kind of landscape, okay? And remember, tear up your paper, have lots of different sizes, glue your little pieces before you put them on your big piece, and in no time you will have a super awesome project of your own. So I had lots of fun hanging out with you guys today. Okay, and I see people are talking about the materials in here. Glue sticks are great. They're really, really convenient. I like them better than liquid glue, to be honest with you. So please make sure that if you do this project, put it online, tag the Heckscher Museum so I can see all of the really cool and amazing things that you guys make. Make sure to follow us on all of our social media accounts here on Facebook as well as Instagram. I'm here every Tuesday at 3 p.m. teaching you guys something new and being really creative with a new project using materials we all have in our homes. And if you do follow our social medias, you will definitely be able to keep in touch with all of the future things that we'll be bringing out very, very soon. So thank you so much for joining me today, guys. My name is Lisa, and I'll see you again next week. Bye! Thanks, guys. See you again.